Hi, this is Hattie Parker, astrologer, and I'm talking at the moment about the new moon that's in Gemini. It's at the end of Gemini, and I'm going to use tarot cards to illustrate what it's all about. So, Gemini, in a deck of tarot cards, Gemini is the Lover's card. The Lover's card, people typically go, "Ooh, the Lover's card." They think it's all about love. Well, I think that it's about way more than being all about love. You see how the angel is above Adam and Eve, who are in their nakedness, and they. I think the Lover's card is really about self-love very strongly, and that the angel is above them saying you're perfectly fine in your nakedness. And so that I think Gemini is about seeing the naked truth. Gemini's sun sign people are very curious, and they go after information. They're like rapacious in how they go after information. So this the Gemini cards are some of the most troubling looking cards in the deck of tarot cards. So a Gemini can go after information so strongly that they just paralyze themselves. If you were lying on your belly and you had 10 swords in your back, you would be um, you would be paralyzed. You would be stuck. Now, this card is so often, I'm rubbing my hand across the yellow part of this card, which is like the sun in the horizon. And sometimes when you just get totally pushed to your limits is when you have the breakthrough. So this is an eclipsed full moon. An eclipse is where you tend to hear, it's a wild card. You tend to hear information that you didn't know existed before. So the two planets that we're talking about are the moon, and actually the sun is involved in this as well. I didn't pull out the sun to show the sun because the sun and the moon are together. The sun is like really bright and shiny. To me, it's the best card in the deck. It's about a child looking joyously going out to play, and the moon, the high priestess who sits between night and day and sees both sides of things. And so that's what a new moon is about. But this particular new moon adds having Mercury, the planet of the mind, the planet that brings ideas out of nowhere and makes them blossom into play. And they are all connected with seeing the naked truth and being pushed to your limits. So either the universe pushes you to the limits. I mean, think about what's going on in your life. Also think about what's going on in the world. Now, these hacking situations are pushing various elements to the limits, like the food, the beef availability in the United States was pushed to the limits. The gasoline has been pushed to the limits. Eclipses happen, they have an influence well before when they actually hit. And so well before they actually hit is not a hacking, is not this what's been going on, that the hackers pushed to the limits, the meat industry pushed to the limits, the gasoline in the east coast of the United States, and then reflect back what's going on in your life. I yesterday literally was in like panic attack about something around a financial issue. And then the very kind of lovely thing that is also happening is the potential that what's coming on is that the Fool, who represents Uranus, and that's, I'm talking about it, and Saturn, that represents finding freedom in the midst of boundaries. these two are, so June 10, 11, the eclipse, June 14th, an exact square, an exact bumper cars of these two cards. Uranus, the planet of freedom and innovation, and he's walking to the edge of the cliff, not worrying whether he's going to fall off. And Saturn, the taskmaster of the universe, where we see the woman who is bound by what are known as the fixed signs in the zodiac. It's like you must find your freedom within the structure that you live in. So now these two being as close as they are together is that, and both of these, I mean, Saturn has a bad rap on many times. You go like, ugh. I mean, I feel it myself. Saturn's the disciplinarian who likes to be disciplined. I mean, I guess if you're a super committed athlete, I mean, I do understand there's such a way of being disciplined that you do it with grace and charm, and that discipline can be a wonderful thing. And the two of these are squaring one another. And so we've got this eclipse that says, like the song for this would be Take It to the Limits. And then right after it, we've got surprise solutions. And I don't know, it doesn't necessarily have to be solutions. It's not a solution if you don't find freedom within bounds. But I think it's an extremely exciting time. And I would say that one of something that you can look at, that I can talk in general, is be aware, because the eclipse makes you aware of things that you might not have been aware of. And I'm going to tell you something that that could be very useful to you that you might not be aware of. When we're looking at this hacker situation, you happen to be, now I'm getting very into cryptocurrency and being around the issues about how do you stay safe when you're in cryptocurrency, you're like your own bank. And a bank wouldn't have been set up without a vault to it. A bank wouldn't, and the bank includes safe deposit boxes. There's all sorts of issues of safety that are put in there. And if you're going to be your own bank, and when we look at a world where we've got these security issues going on, I was listening to an astrologer who talks about cryptocurrency. He's the reason why I'm invested in cryptocurrency. And he is strongly suggesting that people get a YubiKey. And I have looked up YubiKeys for the first time today. I was listening to a recording from him, and that was second time I've heard it. And, like before, I didn't take action. Today, I at least went on. YubiKey is spelled Youbike. Maybe, I think that's right. I can put it in the comments. I think that if you are right now in cryptocurrency, or if you're planning to go into cryptocurrency, you might want to look that up. And so perhaps that's giving you information that you were previously eclipsed from knowing about. It is important to stay safe. We've been in a whole year about staying safe. There are multiple ways to do that, and I would advise that when we're looking at a time when we can be pushed to our limits. I certainly would be pushed to my limits if I found out that my computer was hacked, and actually I have other systems in place that I don't think that's going to happen, but better safe than sorry. I hope this is helpful, and I encourage you to meditate, get calm, The High Priestess has the ability to see both sides of issues. You might just be able to solve something that's troubling you. You might have a breakthrough. This is a very good time for having breakthroughs. Thank you very much. Take care.